What's up, guys? Welcome to Rice and Beans. Jester and Big O are in the house.
What's up?
Oh, and we're in the perfect location for these next two episodes. This one's going to be a twofer.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is going to be, this is part 1 of 2. And on the agenda for the entire thing is movies, and more movies.
I will be Siskel. He will be my counterpart, Ebert. We will be fat, disgusting, and tell you what we think, and you'll like it.
Give him 2 snaps up.
Hated it. Well, I think we got our guys mixed up. That's Twan and...
Those are the movie critics I knew and respected.
We were into gay before gay was into gay.
Right? Before it was chic.
Little top hats, running around going, stop.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, and so when a lot of the movies, I mean, I like a ton of movies, like all different genres, all different years, but it would have been extremely difficult to get all the different movies that each of us liked into like a 2-part episode. So we kind of had to narrow down the time frame, but it's okay because we picked a time frame where like some of the most like iconic and classic movies of the modern era came from. Yeah,
and keep this in mind, this is just our thought. There's movies out there that really stuck to you. So let us know what you think. Reach out to us, drop us a line, let us know what movies really floated your boat during these times.
And let's face it, if you're tuning in, you're obviously interested in what we think. So let's roll with that one.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's been working out well for you for 6 seasons. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that one person that listens to us and watches us and actually likes us.
Thanks, Bob.
Going on to that note, action flicks of the 80s.
Oh my God.
So let's go 80s. Let's go action. Let's start off this discussion with one of the most prolific movies of its time, an AI, artificial intelligence cop from Detroit City, RoboCop.
Yeah, that was the shit.
What?
RoboCop and then RoboCop 2.
Even 3.
It's been so long since I've seen them, but I still remember a lot of just like some of like the ridiculousness that went on in there, and like the fucking when he jumped on the fucking back of the other big robot, is like fucking plucking the brain out. And I'm like, really?
That was part 2. Part 1, we had Red, Eric's father in that 70s show. Dumbass. Also, RoboCop shot that one guy in the dick. They made an action figure of the one guy who got shot in the dick by RoboCop. That was pretty good. And that woman that was wearing "I'm with the guy who shot that guy in the dick" shirt that got the signature from Peter Weller. That was amazing.
That would have been funny if they would have made him like battle action He-Man, where he gets shot and it's like imploded and then you turn it and he's flying again.
That would have been the tits, man.
Like in Lucifer, that would have been his hell loop, just getting shot in the dick over and over and over again.
Imagine that, man, getting shot in the dick forever.
Groundhog's Day. Bill Murray had it easy. Learned how to play the piano. This other dude got shot in the dick.
Burying in those nuts for the rest of your life. Yeah, one of the best things I remember about RoboCop, one of them, was that pretend show. I'd buy that for $1. It was all throughout the whole movie. That was the best right there.
I loved it. I just it at the time, like you could tell that the graphics were and the CGI was like the best they could do, the best they could possibly do at the time.
But even so, it was the best.
And I don't know, like, yeah, it'll always be a standout movie, like, to me, when and especially when, like, I would go to these, cosplay conventions or big-ass costume parties where people will go, like, hardcore on their costumes.
Right.
Like, I saw a couple of RoboCop costumes, and I was glad I was, like, people that took the time to, like, really fucking go balls out on this thing.
Did they do it right?
Dude, they look just like fucking RoboCop. Like,
wow.
Other than, like, they weren't, like, super fucking tall, like... Mm-hmm. you can tell the difference between what they were wearing there and then the fucking dude on the movie.
Right.
Shit was dope.
I was watching Netflix specials. They go behind the scenes of the movies that made us, and RoboCop was one of them. And they show the architecture and the stuff that they put on Peter Weller to make him look like a freaking cyborg, and it was amazing. And he went through this hell every single day, his hell of putting all these prosthetic plastic pieces on there around his original body, because he was thin at the time, he was pretty lean, and they just made him look buff with all these attachments to him. And oh my gosh, man, when you look at it on the real screen, it looks like he's really a robot.
Yeah, no, a kick-ass job for like, look at the time. And like I know now if you like watch it, like I watched a little bit of it, like just as when we made up this list for the show, and just to like I threw out some clips on YouTube, and I was like, oh man, I remember when that was the shit back in the day.
I watched the whole goddamn movie, man, and I still love that movie, man. That's one of the all-time movies that I could actually just sit down and watch it and just go back to the days when I didn't have to worry about a thing.
I think for me, the next one on the list was one of those types of movies. Fucking Predator.
Oh man, that alien vagina face.
Ugly motherfucker. We made fun of a buddy of mine at school because we told him his girlfriend like fucking looked like the Predator because she had a fucking big head and a little face, and she always yelled at him all the time. But she had like a good body. So we're like, he's dating the fucking Predator.
You know what my favorite part of Predator was?
Get to the chopper.
No. Put your arm up. No, over here. Put your arm up. Like this. No, give me your arm. The other arm. Come on. God damn it. We're going to be clapping arms. Come here. Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Come on, man. That was the best. And that was also to show you that I'm live here with my friend here, Andy.
Yeah.
Dufresne.
Yeah.
We'll get into that movie a while, right, Jester?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, that Dylan, you son of a bitch thing, that was that Army, intro where, hey, we're back at it, my friend, only to find out your friend's a piece of shit that's going to sell you under because they want a piece of that alien predator.
Right? And fucking Apollo Creed was in that fucking
That's
movie.
him. That was Dylan.
Jesse, it was Jesse the Body Ventura.
I don't got time to die or bleed. Or no, I ain't got time to bleed. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts is when he fucking just mowed down the fucking, the whole fucking jungle, and the fucking Predator standing there looking at him like, what a fucking asshole.
Just mowing everything down. That was the best.
Good things
Minnesota.
Yeah.
That guy, the way he talks.
The guy was a fucking governor.
Governor of Minnesota. Yeah, that was the best, man. That was such a great movie too, because you look at the CGI in that, and a lot of the filmmaking that went on back then was not really done from computers. It was done from cut pieces and other pieces that were put together in a way to make it look more realistic. Mm-hmm. There was no green screens or backgrounds or claymation. They just used your mind and made it melt into the movie. And that's a lot of what they did for the scenes of the Predator.
I love the weapons that the fucking Predator had. The laser cannon on the shoulder where we would look and fucking it was like eye controlled.
Yeah.
The fucking net that would fucking just like suck it, like just cut everything off, like up that was in it. The fucking spear.
Yeah.
That shit was sick.
Wait, you call him a spear chucker? Watch yourself, fool.
That was one of my favorite characters in MASH before he got booted. It was spear chucker.
I know. So yeah, and one of my favorite memes comes from Predator, where Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the mud and he's all masked up, and then they take a photo image of that dog that rolled around in the mud, that bulldog, and put him right next to him as the Predator's hunting for them. That was the best. I'm like, look at that dog covered in mud, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
When I sent a Cookie was using that where he's covered in mud, and it says, he's a squirter is not so cute when you're gay.
Because we know what Cookie likes.
Yes.
Cookie likes dunking in milk, so to speak. What do you think of it?
Of the cookies or
no, of the squirting?
Him or me?
Him.
Him.
I know you were throwing up.
Well, he's into that shit. Literally.
Oh, so he likes chocolate milk.
He's like, 1 cup, slackers.
Yeah, that Predator, man. I tell you what, that was some great action. In the jungle, and then getting the Predator on the screen. I saw how they made him, morph into the jungle, invisible like, and I still don't remember how they did it. That's how well they did it. Fuck sakes, man. That was a great movie.
He had a secret, but he wouldn't tell me.
Another great action film, and this genre, kind of goes into action as well as comedy, was Romancing the Stone.
Fucking Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito was the best, but Michael Douglas.
Yeah, he was funny in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Whenever Danny DeVito's in a flick, like I was kind of like he's the standout character to me.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Get Shorty and fucking or what was it? Yeah, he was in Get Shorty,
Yeah,
right? Not the follow up one.
No.
Was it with The Rock or what?
No, I don't think it was.
But yeah, just fucking roles like that. But no, like yeah, getting back to fucking Romancing the Stone, like Catherine Mr. Zeta Jones was in it.
Yeah, before he got that pussy cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask me why I brought that up. That's all I remember about that.
Trumpy Bear approves.
Yeah, but being the hired for hand, tour guide down in Central America, I believe it was, and then taking that author down there. God, what was her name? She was a great actor back in the day.
The one that was on
Actress.
The Moonlighting, right?
No. She was not a movie lady. Catherine something. Kathleen Turner.
Yeah, I always get her and Sybil Shepherd confused.
Because all white women look alike to you, right?
Kind of. I mean, you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Well, I mean, you had one mayonnaise. The other mayonnaise almost tastes the same.
Yeah.
Except for Miracle Whip. That tastes like shit. Nobody could tell me to the like. But yeah, Kathleen Turner was the novelist in that movie. And, she found out her sister was down there and trying to save her. I forget the whole thing, but it was still funny. There was a lot of action in there, a lot of, regular type action scenarios, and it was done well.
I think so. I enjoyed it. I mean, like, I was younger when I saw it, but I'm like being younger and it still held my interest. So, that's got to say something, and, but yeah, again, like just like fucking the Danny DeVito character, like he just made me fucking laugh like hard every time he was like.
Well, he wasn't too far off of Taxi around that time, so
yeah,
and he was great in that.
Oh yeah, he was.
And don't forget, Batman and the Penguin were together prior to that. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They were both in Arkham.
Yep.
So go think of that one. Look that up. But that goes on to our next blockbuster of the 80s, action flick. And what do you think I'm talking about?
Batman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember me and Cookie went to the theater when that movie first, that opening morning, like me and him and Mix-It and Paul from the Butcher's Lounge.
Right.
And a couple of our other cousins went that morning, caught like the matinee, and like it was still sold out then too.
Yeah.
Like the fucking matinee was like a fucking Thursday morning, and ridiculous. So, but no, it was fucking epic. Just like packed theater, everybody was going ape shit every time there was an action scene or a fight scene.
Yep. This town needs an enema.
People screaming out "pow" and "bam" and
yeah, so we went to the 5:30 showing, which was just before the regular
the Twilight shows.
Yeah, it was just before they had the regular value. So it was like $5 for the nighttime shows at the time, and we went 5:30, so it was $3.50, I believe it was, to go watch a brand new release.
Oh shit.
Yeah, those were the days, man. So we're in the theater and we're watching this thing, and boy, man, we're just loading up on popcorn, soda, and everything. And one of the iconic scenes in this whole film was when Batman takes his plane, shoots it up into the sky after he captures the balloons with all the gas, and then all of a sudden you see the bat symbol right against the moonlight.
Yeah.
man, when that happened, people were throwing popcorn in the theater, standing up, hooting and hollering. We're talking standing ovation. Everybody in the theater, we're going balls out crazy, and we were part of that. It was just one of those things that you don't see in movies at the time that just really assimilated everybody.
The moment I remember from being in the movie theater that stands out to me the most, the absolute most, was from one of the other movies that's on the list, and I'll talk about that when we get to that one. But that I know exactly what you're talking about, because that the entire fucking theater, not one person was fucking quiet.
Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, like fucking Batman was just epic, and fucking Jack was like just phenomenal as the Joker.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson really killed it. I mean, that smile that he does, that panache that he has as a man, you know, that he doesn't care, but in a way that's debonair too. You know, he's just a man's man, and you don't see that anymore. You know, you look at men and, you know, he didn't care about shaving. He would be scruffy, and he'd still be exuding sex to women. That's the weirdest thing to see, an old man down on the front row of a Lakers game and women trying to throw pussy at him. And it happened. You know, but to see him in the Joker, that's what he exuded. That's what he brought out, you know, and it was just something particularly wonderful to see him as a Joker.
I remember the picture that was floating around online where somebody fucking was handing Jack a picture of Heath Ledger as the Joker and a fucking marker, and Jack just had this look on his face and he was about to fucking kill him.
Yeah. Good times right there, man. I'll tell you what.
That's some fucking balls.
It was. But, you know, watching him do the Joker in a comedic way, a cartoonish way, right? Mm-hmm. And then having that evil, sinister tinge about him when you saw his character being portrayed was really good. And, you know, as far as movies go, I still watch Batman. I still put that on. It's on Netflix right now. Mm-hmm. And it's still a great show. I mean, it's a great watch.
Oh, yeah, it totally is. Like, that was like from growing up, that was one of the things I remember most is like going to see some of these movies that even people nowadays are still like, oh shit, like that was a fucking, that's a classic. And,
yes.
You know what I mean? And they're still in circulation, and it was a trip. I was like, yeah, I got to see that shit when it first came out. Yeah. Play Get Like Me.
Well, that brings us to the next movie we're going to talk about in the 80s, and it barely cusps in the 80s because it carried over, really. It was more like a 78, 79 movie, but we're going to put it in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, spandex galore, right?
That's right. Fucking Superman. That's my shit.
Now, Superman, for those who haven't watched the original Superman with Christopher Reeve before he was in a wheelchair, he was very fit. He was very strong. And the way he wore the outfit was really good of its time. The action and the choreography and some of the stuff that they used in order to make it look like he was flying, you know, you could see that it's dated. You know that it's not real. But I'll tell you what, that movie holds its own. It's got good.
Yeah, it does.
It's got good actors, great actors, I should say. It's got great action. It's got great storyline.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love Superman. Like that was always like my favorite superhero as a kid. Mm-hmm. And there was some recent Superman movies that had come out. I'm not gonna fucking bring them up but no, like definitely the ones with fucking Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
In them, like I saw all of those. Fucking Gene Hackman was
phenomenal, right?
Fucking Gene Hackman. He plays such a great dick. Like,
yeah, he's great
asshole.
Lex.
Like, yeah, you're all motherfucker.
I think the worst one, though, even though I loved the action and the people that were a part of it, was Part 3 with Richard Pryor. And it wasn't his fault. Don't get me wrong. I love Richard Pryor. I love how he did his character in that. He went far with what he could do, but I just didn't like the movie.
Just fucking love it. Like having Richard Pryor was just an added bonus for me.
Yeah, he's funny as hell, man. He was really good in the movie. I just didn't like Part 3. I just didn't like it. Part 2 was great.
And the franchise that thing launched, I mean, they made a fucking ride out of it at Magic Mountain.
Yeah,
it's like and that's just cool. I like that one. A lot of people hate the shit out of that ride, but
so 2 things I hated about Superman was not Superman, was Lois Lane. Right, I did not like her playing Lois Lane. I really did not like her. There was times where she was pretty, and there's times where you see that yellow stain from smoking. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, back in the day, people smoked, and Margot Kidder was one of those smokers, and it stained, and it just threw me the wrong way, and you could see the lines on her face from the nicotine, and everything like that, and as a kid, it kind of threw me back, but as an adult, I understood more what was going on, and so it just, just made me shiver. But one thing I did like about it was Miss Tessbacher. And you know what I'm talking about. And that goes back to Kim Petras and my coconuts. Anyway, that's enough of that. Moving on to the next movie. Did you ever watch this next movie, The Last Starfighter?
I saw it a very, very long time ago. Oh, no shit, right? It's not
a
recent fucking movie.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those that I fucking had the opportunity to see a lot, right?
Okay.
Like, fucking, I think it was one of those flicks they rented once and then... So, but I do remember enjoying it. I don't remember a ton about it. What was it? One of your top ones for that genre? Yeah.
That's why I brought it into this because, as far as sci-fi goes and as far as action flicks goes, this one really, really at its time was at its peak, and it didn't get the dues that it should have got. Sales in the theaters were lackluster. There was a lot that went into this. There was a lot of computer animation of its time. Now, keep in mind, back in 86, 87, there wasn't a lot of computer stuff going on, but they used first-gen computer graphics, geometry, scales, and lines, and digitize certain things. They were on the cusp in this movie. And not only that, they had great actors, a great storyline, and a fucking kick-ass starship, man. That thing was badass. Come on. Forget it.
I think I remember more of the Nintendo game for it than I do of the actual movie.
I could believe that. Like I said, it lackluster in the theater. Rentals went up a little bit, but I watched every time that came on. That was one of my go-to movies. But I love the action in that, and his sidekick, that lizard guy, he was funny as fuck. I don't know. I just, if you haven't watched The Last Starfighter, understand that it's an older 80s movie, but it still holds its value. I think you should watch it.
Definitely. And so speaking of space and so I don't think we can talk about space movies without fucking bringing up Aliens.
Oh God. So don't ever say Alien Part 2. Don't ever say that. You're going to piss off every single person that was part of Aliens, which is Alien Part 2. But it's called Aliens, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get a chance on this genre that you brought up, Netflix has a series of the movies that made us. Please watch it. They talk about aliens. And one of the things they brought up was that they never went to Sigourney Weaver to come back into this movie. They had the production, they had the script, they had all actors, but they forgot to talk to Sigourney Weaver to come into this role. And it fucked them hard time. Now, it was good for Sigourney Weaver because at the time there wasn't a lot of lead female characters or roles. Actresses were secondary, and they had all these other roles that were, beholden to women at the time. Mm-hmm. She got like 250 or 50,000 or 500,000 for the first Alien, and that was probably what she would have got for Aliens. But because they held out, she hit the $1 million mark for this.
Nice.
Oh, she made out like a bandit, and she fucking stuck it to him hard. And just watch this; you're gonna love it.
There is no Dana. There is only Zubul.
Yes, I would like some coffee.
There is no Sigourney. There is only pay me, motherfucker.
But going back to the movie Aliens, I watched it again recently, and I just loved the hell out of it. God, I love the hell out of that movie.
One of my favorite Aliens references is at the end of fucking Spaceballs, where the fucking alien pops out and starts singing and fucking on the counter.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling.
Yes.
Hello, my right-time gal. Send me a tip by wire. Honey, my heart's on fire.
I lost my shit when that happened. Like, oh, everybody because we all watched, like, I think it was funny because we had watched Aliens the week or 2 weeks before on
Right.
like as a movie night, and then we watched Spaceballs like 2 weeks later, and so when the thing popped out and he started singing, we were dying.
Check, please. Yeah, that was so great. But Aliens as well. The action in that, the sci-fi feature of this, the way they cut and did the ships in this, go on this Netflix feature. They'll tell you exactly how they did it, and it's amazing what they did. And when you see the film and how they put it together, you will see how they etched all these spaceships and how they painted and how they did the surroundings in it. And then you're looking at it going, yeah, it kind of looks secondhand. But when you watch the movie, it just makes the movie. I don't know why. It just does.
It did. And again, another one that was a fucking another franchiser. And I love when they did the crossover of the Predator and the Alien, like Alien versus Predator, that first one that they did.
Yeah.
I was into that one. That one was super interesting. And then like the second one, when they came back to Earth, I was like, all right, it's okay. At least the fight scenes are cool.
Yeah.
But then like that third one where they got dropped on that fucking planet, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That was the one with Adrian Brody, right?
Yeah, the Requiem or some shit like that. They just like fucking fell out of the sky. I'm all,
Didn't they drop him out of the sky with a piano?
some shit like they fucking just dropped him. I'm like, beautiful naked big titty women just don't fall into the fucking sky, you know.
Well, here in Hollywood on this type of set, you might. Yeah, I know. This two movies, Aliens and Predator, they created a genre that went through in time, and we've gotten 10 total movies, maybe a little bit more out of all this. So it's nuts, man. And that brings us to our next.
Not to mention video games.
Oh God, I was gonna move on, but now you stopped me from moving on. God damn you! And I'm gonna talk about video games now. PlayStation 1 Alien.
The fucking computer, the PC,
Same difference.
PC version of Alien versus Predator. You could play as the alien, you could play as the Marine, or you could play as the Predator.
I played that, and that's good. But Alien on PlayStation 1 scared the fucking shit out of me. I'm a grown ass adult with children at this time, and I'm almost pissing my pants. Now, my brother-in-law tells me about his place. Oh yeah, go ahead and play it. And he gives me the Alien game. I got all the lights turned off. I'm drinking, and I'm not talking soda, right? I'm relaxing, and everything around me is dark and black. I can't see nothing, and I'm immersed into this hallway on this ship, and all of a sudden I see a shining glow in here, and then one of the heads pop out, and I see a glimmer onto the side of me. I'm like, freaking out, dropping the controller, and then I die.
If what you said is true, and Oculus is really not just for porn, then could you imagine if they made one of those fucking games with today's graphics on
Porn Alien?
No, the
video game.
The video game on Oculus.
Okay,
if supposedly it's not just for porn.
I would have to wear a diaper because I would shit my pants.
A game that did that was kind of like, it looked like the fucking Alien when the dude like turned into a demon. It was called The Darkness. And like this fucking demon like possessed this dude, and he would talk to the dude. Like, you were the dude, so you were the character. It was like a GTA kind of thing.
Right.
The fucking alien would talk to you sometimes, like all out of nowhere. And so I'm playing this thing, and I got the surround sound on, and same deal, lights are off, and then fucking all of a sudden the fucking demon starts talking out of nowhere. I was like,
yeah, turn on the lights because I'm scared of shit.
Yeah, it's quite enough of that shit. Click.
Moving on, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Die Hard.
Was Die Hard?
Die Hard, yeah. Die Hard. Whoever says that's not,
yay, motherfucker.
whoever says that's not a Christmas movie, kick them in the balls or the vagina because they're assholes. It is a Christmas movie.
I love the fucking bees with Bruce Willis.
Oh,
it's not
God.
a Christmas movie.
Yes, I tell you what, man, that's more Christmas than Christmas. That's such a great movie.
That was one of my favorite parts of his roast when he one of his last things he said was, "It's not a Christmas movie."
So fucking funny. But I tell you what, man, you have great actors, great storyline, and you even have Slytherin represented in there.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I mean, you're too young, and you should probably go watch this movie.
Definitely do yourselves a favor.
Yeah, but that's enough about that, except for Carl Winslow, who went on to Family Matters. Before he was in Chicago, he was in L.A., and he was at the Nakatomi Plaza.
He joined the witness protection program. That's where it started. Like fucking what's his name? Heisenberg didn't really die at the end of Breaking Bad. That's where fucking he went into witness protection and Malcolm in the Middle starts.
That's true. Moving on, our next film would be we're going to be talking about is Back to the Future.
Oh, that's my shit.
Did you see that in theaters?
Fuck. Yes, all three of them I saw in the theaters multiple times.
So did I.
Oh yeah, and then when Universal Studios Hollywood had the DeLorean was there,
right. Doc Brown ride.
Yup. They had a Back to the Future ride.
Right.
They sold all the merch that was in the second movie, so I had I was fucking rocking the Griff helmet cap.
I could see you as Griff.
They had that. I was that for one Halloween because I already had the helmet, so we just fucking I had football pads. So
nice, man. That's badass. Yeah,
but yeah, man, so much fucking memorable shit from fucking Back to the Future, like all of them, and those are like flicks that I could just sit there and like. There's nothing else on, and like Back to the Future. Fuck it, we're watching Back to the Future.
Damn straight. 1.21 gigawatts.
And so I went to this Renaissance fair, and it was a theme weekend, and the theme was time traveler, and that means
at a Renaissance fair.
That means like it's steampunk, right? And but I saw Doc Brown and Marty McFly walking around, and everybody was fucking losing their minds and taking pictures with them because it was so fucking funny. They're like time travel. The only other better one there was Bill and Ted. They had this fucking phone booth strapped to a goddamn dolly, and they were pushing it around the fucking fairgrounds, and they would pose for pictures with everybody in front of the phone booth.
That's badass. And I would venture to say that it inspired Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, that's where Rick and Morty came from. The Doc and so that's why I was so excited when they did the live action trailer for it because Christopher Lloyd is Rick.
Yes,
and so I was just like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
It was fucking great.
I hope they're not just trolling people.
They were.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't think it's any time soon that they're going to be doing a live action. But if they did and they got him back in there, that'd be great.
And it's crazy that it inspired that, and that it's like people like younger people that hadn't seen Back to the Future don't know who Christopher Lloyd is, don't know who Judge Doom is.
Yeah.
It we're the same assholes that were fucking standing in McDonald's and screaming for the fucking Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, I know, right?
And it's crazy because without Back to the Future, none of that shit would have happened.
You wouldn't have had Szechuan, motherfuckers.
Nope, that Mulan Szechuan sauce would have been long forgotten right after that fucking movie was pulled from theaters.
And I'm not one for Szechuan sauce, but hey, you know what? To each their own,
right? So another movie that was action and you kind of hard to skip over this one, and even though some people may see it as anti-Semitic, was Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it was anti-Semitic at times.
Mostly only when fucking Mel was on screen.
I'll tell you what, man, Gary Busey at his craziest.
Oh my god, I knew there was something wrong with that guy when he was in Under Siege with fucking Steven Seagal.
Oh my god, man!
Do I look like I need a psychiatric evaluation? And he's wearing the fucking dress.
I think I knew how crazy he was when he played in The Silver Bullet.
Oh my god.
as the uncle to the little boy in the wheelchair.
Yes.
You could see crazy in his eyes. Even now, he also was in the Buddy Holly story.
Yeah, that was a stretch. I was like,
no, he did a great job, but you saw nothing but crazy in him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you watch Lethal Weapon, it just flourished like a flower. It budded out and it bloomed. But yeah, Lethal Weapon was really good. Crazy detective wanting to kill himself, and then a grumpy old cop saying, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
And that one had staying power because they made a fucking
yeah.
TV show out of it.
Oh, yeah.
In the fucking, was it late 2010s, something like that?
It was recently. It was more like 2015. Something like 2016 when it came out.
And for a movie that came out in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like the staying
Damon
power.
Wayans, man. Damon Wayans. They totally fucked that up.
They sure did.
I forgot what the actor was, but he was all fucking destroying everything. And then they got American Pie. Sean.
Yeah, Stifler.
Stifler. All right, they got him in on that. And I don't get me wrong. I think he's funny as shit, and I think he's perfect for the role. If he had started this, it would have been better. But yeah, moving on to our last action for the 80s. Now, keep in mind, there's plenty more. We cut some out because of time, but plenty more. Let us know what you think. And the reason why we chose this one, it wasn't the first, it wasn't the last. It was more of the middle, but it was more iconic of the middle at the time.
It was the one that pissed everybody the fuck off.
You think it did?
Fuck yeah, it did. The way that shit ended, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Empire Strikes Back really did that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
That was like, that ending was infuriating. Like, okay, so they picked his ass up and now he's feeling better. What the fuck? He's just gonna let that shit go?
Well, that rolled into the next one, Return of the Jedi. But the Empire Strikes Back, the reason why it was more iconic is because of the sales at the time. So you got to keep in mind when Star Wars came out and the models and renderings that they did for that was, the budget at the time was minimum at best. I mean, they made that film for, junk money, basically. When Empire Strikes Back came on, they just flooded it with money because the amount that they made with Star Wars, and they got that back tenfold. It was nuts.
And so going back to what I was saying, that point in the movie theater where not one person was silent, everybody was cheering, was when it wasn't Empire, it was the Clone Wars.
Oh, where you're really gonna bring up Clone Wars?
Where fucking Yoda does, like, Yoda fights, like, fucking, like, he opens. Okay, so the part where everybody lost their shit was when he opened his fucking robe and fucking grabs the fucking lightsaber and it turns on. Everybody fucking, you would have thought you were in a fucking boxing match with fucking Tyson Holyfield, just fucking that kind of fucking reaction, like,
I can understand that. I can understand. I'm not gonna joke about that.
Everybody fucking, like, the whole fight scene, everybody was just, like, nobody was quiet. It was just fucking screaming and, I can see that. Fuck yeah.
So when Empire Strikes Back came out in like 81, 82, I was living in San Diego at the time. And we went down to the theater, which was off of the 8, which was down in the ravine close to the shopping areas there. And there was a bowling alley that was probably about the equivalent of 50 yards away, half a football field. Mm-hmm. And that whole stretch was like 2-3 miles. There was a line 2-3 miles to watch Empire Strikes Back. We got there at around 4 in the afternoon. We didn't get in till like 11 that night. I remember waiting that long. I fell asleep through Empire Strikes Back because I was a little kid. We got one of the things that I should have carried on and held on to at the time was a comic book of Empire Strikes Back for the movie that was one of those keepers that you should have had. And I destroyed the shit out of it. I was so pissed off of myself growing up after I knew that.
I had a movie poster that came out of one of the, like, displays at a theater, at a local theater, and fucking in one of the moves, when I transitioning between house and house. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up because it came up missing.
Oh man, that sucks.
And it just, like, I was super bummed because it was like how the fuck am I ever gonna get that shit back? You know what I mean? Like,
you ain't.
Yeah. And so out of all the things I ever lost when I moved the houses or music rehearsal spaces, like, that was the thing I fucking missed the most, was that fucking movie poster from Empire.
What I took from Empire of the Strikes Back, as a kid was that if you cut open a gut of anything, that you could go
You
in there,
crawl in there and sleep. Yeah, and
nice
be warm.
and warm. Yeah, be a little wet, but you'll be all right. Tauntaun guts.
Then I'll see you in hell.
I think the best thing ever is when they actually came out with the action figure Tauntaun that you could cut open its belly so you could put Luke Skywalker in.
Yes.
And one of the other things I remember now, I cannot attest to this 100%, but I could have sworn when I lived in El Cajon, which was a few years after the Empire Strikes Back came out, I had purchased a Boba Fett action figure that had a rocket launcher, spring-loaded rocket launcher on it, which they say wasn't made because of child endangerment. You could swallow it and choke, but I could have sworn I got it. I don't know. I can't tell you if I got it. That's how I remember it. I could be stupid.
No, I remember those toys. Yes, they were sold out here, and we had because we had Boba Fett action figures that had additions that you could buy separate from the action figure because they nickel and dime you to death.
Yeah.
But no, there were shootable parts the different things that he had, his different weapons that he would shoot and would go away from him. They had them.
So I collected pop bottles that year, and I got this action figure. If I would have held on to that thing, and if it was real what I thought it was, and I still had it, probably we were worth $500,000 right about now.
I could have gotten to fucking Pawn Stars. The best I could do was $50. When the wife and I got married, it was 3 doors down from Pawn Stars, and so we went over and took some fucking wedding photos in front of Pawn Stars, and they said, if you guys can wait 45 minutes, the guys will take pictures with you and stuff. They fucking love when people come and do this kind of thing, but we had dinner reservations already and we had to go, so I was like, fuck. But yeah, we get a fucking
the old man probably would have been fondling your wife.
Probably.
Best I could do is a cop a feel.
Chubbly asking me questions.
That fucking freak. Yeah, so that takes care of our 80s genre for action. We're going to touch on a couple 90s ones, and we're running low on time, but we're going to certainly get into some 80s and 90s in horror. So, going into that action timeline for 90s, man, I remember a lot of these as a grown-up. I'm sure you've seen quite a few of them. We're going to start off with Speed. With Keanu Reeves and
that
Sandra
wild
Bullock.
cat behind the wheel.
Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, that movie some people pisses off, but I like that movie.
Poor people are crazy, Jack. Me, I'm rich. I'm eccentric.
You know who else was in that? Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Shoot the hostage. You son of a bitch.
Oh my gosh, man. No, it was I said Lloyd. That's Lloyd Christmas. I meant Harry.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. I got to get my characters right. Otherwise,
Harry,
people
your
rip us
hats
into
are
a hole.
crazy. Man, you were one pathetic loser. Oh yeah, dude, I like Speed. A lot of people didn't like it. I was into it, and fucking Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off was in it too.
There you go.
He'll keep calling. He'll keep calling.
He'll blow up the bus. He won't leave me alone. But yeah, it was a great scope on a simple action flick with, a good storyline. And Sandra Bullock was hot back then. Not that she's not hot now. She still is.
And I think I saw her in that, and I was like, all right, not bad. And I saw Miss Congeniality. I was like, hey. How you doing?
How you doing?
Well, Keanu Reeves being in that one, and then the next thing I saw him in was The Matrix.
Yeah.
And the just extreme difference between Bill and Ted and fucking Johnny Utah fucking in
Point Break.
Point Break, yeah. And fucking then to being Neo in The Matrix, I'm like, all right, okay. And then he was fucking John Wick. I'm like,
John Wick is a tit.
I was like, this motherfucker gangster.
Yeah. I saw a newsreel on Facebook talking about how he's the next Batman.
I fucking laughed my ass off.
I don't know if it's real or not, but if anyone can do it, it's John Wick. I mean, Keanu Reeves.
But okay, so I love me some Bill and Ted, but could you imagine?
Yeah, I can.
I'm Batman.
You don't believe me? I'm Batman.
I fucking like he would be my all-time fucking hero if he did that even once just for a fucking outtake that they fucking played at the end of the credits. Batman.
And this is Wild Stallions.
Yes.
You're right about the Matrix. That was really good. And if it seems like we're flying by here, we are. We got a lot to talk about. Going into Terminator 2.
Oh, fucking You Could Be My Guns N' Roses, one of my all-time favorite GNR songs.
Yeah.
Fucking absolutely fucking made one of those scenes when he's like tuning up his bike.
Yeah.
And then he fucking gets on and then the fucking because the intro drums, that's playing as he's fucking tuning up the bike. What? I can't hear you. And then as he fucking pulls out, that's when fucking Rose started singing. Oh, fucking, and it was just... The song was fucking awesome, and the whole movie, the Terminator, the melting Terminator they had to fucking kill with the fucking nitrogen.
So that bike he was on was a Harley Davidson Fat Boy, and that's what really got me sucked into that because I love that bike. And at one time I went to Hollywood, and they had the Terminator bike out there you could take pictures on.
Hasta la vista.
Oh, yeah, it's so awesome, man. So stupid, so awesome. But
come with me if you want to live.
Look out, get down. So one of the prolific things in that movie is the atomic bomb. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Skynet fucking did it when Skynet decided it had enough.
So we're talking about, being in a theater and everybody, interacting with the film. When that bomb dropped, so to speak, the whole crowd gasped. Everybody, it's like silence filled the room and life was devoid in that whole place. Everybody's just jaws dropped and just gasped at the atomic bomb, the melting faces and bodies of the people when Skynet took over and just decimated everybody. It was just one of those moments, and now we're reliving
Japan looking over there, ain't that some shit, huh? Yeah, you fuckers remember that?
Yeah. Now you get to deal with it. How you doing?
How does it feel, motherfucker? And then the post-apocalyptic thing, it's cool because it was one way, and they made it seem like one way in Terminator 2, but then you look at movies like Demolition Man where it went a completely different way, and fucking Demolition Man was one of my favorite fucking movies that Wesley Snipes was in. He was just the perfect fucking asshole in that thing. Oh, Simon Phoenix is one of my favorite fucking bad guys ever.
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I love that movie. I don't remember seeing it in theaters, but I watched the hell out of that movie.
I did, and it was because of the fucking Taco Bell backing, and we're going out to dinner in a fancy restaurant. Where are we going? We're going to Taco Bell.
What?
And then they fucking walk in, and the guy's playing the fucking piano. Valley of the Jolly Green Giant.
All show tunes from the 50s.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. That was one of the funniest parts where they started singing the Oscar Mayer Wiener song, and then he was like, "Somebody put me back in the fridge."
Be well.
Yeah.
Hey, what kind of burger is this?
Esa carne es rata.
Raton?
It's a rat burger.
Huh. It's good.
Simon says die.
¿Quieres un cerveza? Sí.
Now, what should I do with you, Bobby? And it's fucking Otho from Beetlejuice.
Yes. So funny, man. That movie is
Dennis Leary. Oh my God. These assholes are nothing if not predictable.
Okay. Dennis Leary in that movie, I could have done without. There was a couple key spots where he's funny, but then he goes into his Dennis Leary stand-up routine. And at that time, I had seen his stand-up routine many times, and to see it on the movie, I was like, okay, all right, that's enough.
Right? It was the whole fucking up the lines that would make me laugh. Like, he really licked his ass. Met his match. Kicked his ass.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock was really hot in that.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, so it was like Speed. I was like, hey, what's up? And then I saw like Demolition Man when she was in those tight pants. I was like, Yeah.
Well, so Demolition Man was first, and then Speed, and then Rob Schneider was in it.
Yes.
And he laughed about the 3 seashells.
He doesn't know about the 3 seashells.
Yeah. It would have been funny to see Rob Schneider doing the 3 seashells as the Hawaiian guy in 50 First Dates.
That's why the fucking meme during COVID time when it was like 6 foot rule, when like the memes were fucking from Demolition Man where they would do the air high five and do that.
So freaking funny, man. You know, and then another great movie, and we'll move on to our next genre after this, is talking about Last Action Hero. That was a fun movie. That really was. I like it a lot. AC/DC did the soundtrack. Megadeth was on there as well.
Yep, hell yeah.
We're talking some hard rock venues, man. And a little piece of shit kid gets to go inside of a movie. And the reason why I say that is because he fucks everything all up until he realizes he's fucking things up, and then he makes it right.
It was a good flick. I mean, like, for if you're into action, and I think like what they did with it, like the storyline and the visuals, like the visuals were cool. Like for being an action flick and having that many visuals in it, I think that shit was dope. I was like, oh, okay, I'm with this. But yeah, no, I mean, like this was really hard, like narrowing down this list, because you know, like there's like movies like Independence Day and Rush Hour and The Fugitive, but
like, we can't talk about that. We don't have time.
Yeah.
But you know, you go back to Last Action Hero. Arnold Schwarzenegger once again pulls it off. It's funny. It's got a lot of action. I mean, you got all these great actors inside of it. You know, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
And it's like, and that's why when people were fucking ripping on the Expendables, I was like, yeah, bitch, like these were all the fucking action heroes that you're under fucking dick like fucking 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I love the Expendables.
I did too. Killing him, hanging a pirate.
Yeah. But that's for a different timeline, folks. Moving on to our next genre, we're going to be talking about horrors for the 80s. Now, we're not talking about the speakeasies or the ladies of the night. We're talking about horror action films, you know, blood, gore, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the first film that we're going to be talking about of the 80s. Yeah.
The motherfuckers with all of them goddamn rules.
So, yeah. I mean, a lot of... Well, so you like little flying things that you keep, you know, running around, and they're cute and fuzzy and everything. So we're going to talk about Gremlins.
Yep. Oh, man, that would scared the shit out of me.
Oh, my God, man. It didn't scare me more than it just enticed me to want to watch more movies.
I wouldn't, for the longest time, I would fucking move cups of water away from stuffed animals that I saw.
Nice. That is freaking awesome. Yeah.
It was to that fucking level. I was like, good movie. The second one was funny.
Oh, yeah, it was great. But yeah, we went to the theaters to watch the first one, me and my brother, and we loved it, man. It was a great movie.
That one I caught on VHS. The second one I did catch in the theaters.
So, yeah, Gremlins is a story about little gremlins. They're called mogwai, come from China, and you can't get water on them. Otherwise, they reproduce because they don't fornicate, they watercate.
And you can't feed them after midnight?
Yes, that's more important, because what happens after midnight?
They turn into raging assholes.
They sure do, man.
they become my children.
And the last but not least, they do not like bright light.
Nope.
What happens when they're in sunlight again? They melt. But yeah, so the voiceover for in the Gremlins for the one and only Gremlin at the time was our favorite that's on American. American's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's his name? The comedian? You know him.
The dude, the one guy that was in one movie from a couple of years ago.
Bobby's World. We all love him. Magway. So, yeah, that was a great movie. I mean, for little puppets, little animatronics running around doing their thing was just wonderful. And it was another Christmas story, just like Die Hard was.
Yeah.
Don't hit me again. I didn't like that. But it was such a great movie, man. And one of the things that I had wondered about this movie, and I'm sure everybody else wonders about this movie, is why that town didn't just blow up with gremlins, because there was snow time.
That's a town that could have used a T-1000.
Probably. But I mean, literally, it was snowed in. They had just got a heavy snowfall, and these gremlins were running around, and you just wonder why there wasn't billions and billions of gremlins, because once it touches them, it gets wet and it water everywhere, and they populate. How do they get around that?
That's why they were so fucking angry all the time, because they couldn't fucking fornicate.
I remember the scene in the bar, the disco madness, and the one gremlin is just he's got the leg warmers, and then you got the other one that's going Oh, it was so great, man.
Hell yeah, man. Good flick. Totally good flick.
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Still hot.
Hell yeah. She was hot in that other fucking movie where she was crazy and she had the imaginary friend. Fred.
Yeah. Was it Imaginary Fred or something like that?
Drop Dead Fred.
Drop Dead Fred. Thank you. You are correct.
And so no, another movie that like falls into the like it was classified under horror, but it was I thought it was a mix of like action and horror. Was the fucking was the Terminator,
the original one?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, we talked about 2 as an action. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but in the first one, I think it's more along that edge, that cutting edge, where it's one or the other. Yeah, and it was like. Because it did have, like, it had the elements of the horror movie, right? Like, it had the violence, the killing, and, like, but it also had, like, the sci-fi and definitely the action. Right. So I thought that was, like, a full-on cross, like, like, of those 3 genres, and it was good, but, like, I could see where, like, the horror does, come out. Well, I mean, when he's in the hotel room and he has to take out that eye that's jacked up, so he gets the straight edge and it just blops out in blood that everywhere. Oh, that always gets me. That and when he's walking into the bar with any fucking clothes on. Yeah. I don't want to fucking watch Arnold Ass walk away. Get the shit out. Well, so that was the second one. The first one, he walks up to a group of guys at a point. Remember that? So who was one of those guys? Do you remember the actors that were there? No. So one of those guys, as a matter of fact, the one that gave him his clothes after he got his ass beat and his face punched in was Bill Paxton. Oh, no shit. Yeah, Bill Paxton. And a lot of people don't know this, but if you watch, we talked about Netflix and those genres, the films that made us. Bill Paxton was part of a crew that did some of the effects for the facial, for the plastic stuff, the attachments. And he got into films that way. So I think Terminator was his first or second film that he was in, and he got his ass beat as one of those punkers that didn't want to give him his clothes. When I think of Bill Paxton, I think of make yourself one, dickweed. You're stewed, buttwad. Yes. Yeah, well, it was another great movie that we didn't get to, Weird Science. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Bill Paxton's the best. He was Stifler before Stifler. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and, Terminator was just one of those things where the horrific things that he thinks and does as a Terminator, as a, AI robot, was just spot on. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the best in that. Coming from Conan the Barbarian, I was going to say Conan O'Brien. Conan the Librarian. You don't know the Dewey Decimal System? But coming off of that genre, as the Barbarian and becoming the Terminator is just, I mean, the way he talks, the way he acts, he's so mundane. And if you watch, Pumping Iron, that's how he is at the beginning. He's more robotic than he is more fluid because he was learning English. We are here to pump you up. Wrong one, but yeah, funny as shit. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Terminator was out there, and I remember seeing that as a kid on VHS. And boy, man, that really hit home watching some of those action scenes. It scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, they were intense, man. It fucking made it a fucking classic. Yeah, and then moving on to another horror I keep saying horrors. It makes it sound like Ladies of the Night.
Another hoe.
But another movie that really was iconic at the time was Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we couldn't. There was no way we were going to talk about the horror genre without bringing up Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, man. TNA and blood. Right? Mm-hmm. And in Friday the 13th, we get to meet Jason Voorhees for the first time.
Yup.
And that little fucker loves to kill. And he grew up and he loved to kill again. And you know what? That motherfucker killed Kevin Bacon.
And it was so fucking popular that game like was hardly ever on the fucking shelf in the month of October when I remember going to the mom and pops again. Mm-hmm. And like Friday the 13th never, like, not one of the fucking installments that they had come, because they came out with two.
Yes.
A lot of people only like know about the one, but like I had like the hookup, so I fucking got to play both, and not one of those motherfuckers ever on the shelf during Halloween. In the month of October, that and fucking Nightmare on Elm Street when they put out I guess the only installment of that one.
You know what? We did not put that up here, but Nightmare on Elm Street, that's another one. That's a good pull, man.
I love when they redid that.
I didn't like the second one, the remake, but I like the first one.
I like the Rick and Morty spinoff.
Yes. What does he say? Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, bitch.
Yeah. You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
The wife, when he comes home, what are you doing home, bitch?
Not here, Terrence. Not here.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Bitch. See what happens?
We brought you pants, dog. Oh, bitch.
But yeah, talking about that one, Johnny Depp got killed in that one.
Yup, yes he did.
Before he was a freaking pirate of the Caribbean. Yeah, I know you want to say something. Get it out.
No, it's just like thinking about like fucking the drastic difference between like fucking Jack Sparrow and the dude that died.
That is true, yeah.
Down on Jump Street.
Or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. That was a weird one with him. And I was okay. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is fucking just, it's weird. He made it weird.
Just continue being killed by a guy who goes into your nightmares.
He made it weird.
So what's the next film that you're thinking of?
Like Scream. Silence of the Lambs. Maybe. Yeah. That one, I think, for me was one of the good, like one of my favorites. I mean, fucking Hopkins in that one was just fucking so good. They fucking brought it back for Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. I think my favorite scene in that was, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. And that went on to Jay and Silent Bob.
Clerks 2, yeah.
Oh my God.
And he had to do it without the music.
Oh my God. And he tucked it too. Yeah. And you saw nothing.
Fucking Muse, dude.
Amazing. But yeah, Silence of the Lambs. And that went on a spinoff with the dragon and a couple other things. And it was
Hello, Clarice.
Yeah, hello, Clarice. I could smell that fifth in the quim.
Look at the blonde.
That was a thriller as well as a horror.
Yup.
Horror. Yeah,
one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, I agree with you, man.
What about you, man? What other ones jump to mind for you?
Oh, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, Salma Hayek, yeah.
Oh my God.
For me, that wasn't a horror flick. That was a fucking fat flick.
Oh my gosh, she is so beautiful.
I only ever watched a minute and a half of that movie.
Man, if she wasn't married and I wasn't married, then we'd be married because she likes people like me.
She's on the celebrity free pass list for me.
God damn. The whole movie was great. I mean, George Clooney was wonderful in it. Quentin Tarantino was excellent in it, and that was his movie. I mean, fucking... Who do they have in there? They had Trejo in there, right?
Machete was in there.
Machete was in there. They had a lot of grindhouse action stars in this movie. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, and I should have wrote notes, but you know what? We're doing the fly thing here. But one of the best scenes I saw was
The one Salma Hayek in it?
Well, that too. But the Mexican actor that was in there, he's been in Grindhouse movies quite a bit, and he's been in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies. He pulls out his 6 revolver cock gun. Amazing. Yeah. They end up using it again in Machete with Sofia I'm not going to say Vergara. I got her name right.
She's fucking hot too.
Yeah, but she had the same pistola in her crotch. Yeah. Oh my God, but it was in From Dusk Till Dawn first time. So Quentin Tarantino likes mixing things up and adding stuff from his past. Dusk Till Dawn was the tits, man.
Yes.
Thanks, Selma. 2 thumbs up.
Show wing.
Moving on. What else is in your mind for 90s horrors?
Now just Salma Hayek's tits. Army of Darkness and Tremors.
Well, which one you want?
Oh man, Tremors.
Okay, Tremors. So Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Yeah. Great movie.
You ever try to go to the fucking playground after that shit? And fucking at the park with the fucking sand pits are? I'm like, I'm cool.
So what was that game when you played where you kid?
The floor is lava.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you did when you went out in the sand pits.
That and Beetlejuice did that to me. I would fucking go to the sand pit. I'm like, suspect.
Yeah. I mean, you might find occasional cat turd that was buried, but you didn't want tremors coming up on your feet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that was that movie right there. I mean, that was epitome of earthworm madness.
Yup. Hell yeah. And fucking, so it made me feel better to play Earthworm Jim after I watched that movie.
Wait a minute. Are we talking about a game or a movie?
Yep,
or are we talking about you fapping?
It was on the Sega.
Yeah, I thought so, but I thought you were Earthworming Jim in the.
No, not from Tremors. From Dusk Till Dawn. Yes.
But yeah, in Tremors too, Reba McEntire.
Yeah, I always remember her from the fucking Reba show.
Oh, she was hot back then. I tell you what.
Is that you, Batman?
And then also you had Michael Keaton's father from Family Matters in the movie too.
Yup.
It was a lot of great actors, and it was a great, storyline as well as great action.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it was scary.
Fuck yeah! Like fucking, I would walk around, look down at the ground, and be like, I just feel something. And I live in California, so there's fucking earthquakes here, so that was even worse. I was like, is it really an earthquake, or is it one of those motherfuckers coming to get me?
Yeah, you're walking over to the edge of a fucking ravine to see if it fell off. That was a great movie. That was a good pull on that one. Yeah, mine. You brought up Army of Darkness, but that's my thing. Yeah. I love that. I love The Evil Dead. I love The Evil Dead Part 2, and The Army of Darkness is Evil Dead Part 3, the follow-up, and the tie-off to the whole Evil Dead, which didn't actually tie off because Showtime had the Evil Dead series. Yes.
With the fucking chainsaw hand.
Bruce Campbell is the shit.
Did you ever see him in
Briscoe County Jr.?
That one, but Burn Notice.
Yes.
Oh,
he was excellent in Burn Notice.
When he played Sam Ash, I was like, wait, isn't that?
Yes.
And I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, Briscoe County Jr. was a great Western. Yes. And his character Sam Ash in Burn Notice was similar to that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That fucking great flick. Fucking flick. For a while, I really, really wanted to try to recreate that fucking the chainsaw hand.
Yeah, you would do that well. You got the height. You got the height.
I gotta try that. For one of our Halloween shows. We're gonna dress up as Sam Ash one of these days.
You make me look like a small roly-poly Mexican. But in any case, going back to the Army of Darkness, if you watch the Evil Dead and you see that horror genre as they go through, the Evil Dead Part 2 gets a little more funnier. It's still scary, but it gets a little more funny. But they get to Army of Darkness, and it's scary and funny. It's just one of those things where you see a teddy bear and all of a sudden it's got teeth. It's funny, but it's scary. Then you go to the series, and it's 10 times from what the Army of Darkness was. It's great. So, highly suggest watching it.
Oh, great flick! Yes. Absolutely. If you haven't seen it, like you need to go. You need to go check that out. Like,
yeah, especially when you can't get the line reading right.
Right.
Yeah, it is such a great movie. I love Sam Raimi doing this. And everything. These movies are just wonderful. I mean, they just keep me going.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And speed of keeping things going, we are coming up to the end, or I guess the intermission, because this is a two-parter. So go out, get your popcorn, and get your drinks, grab your blunts, and your fucking booze, because we are going to come back with the next part of this installment of Rice and Beans podcast. So we hope you're enjoying season 6. We are enjoying the fuck out of it.
Look at the smile on my face.
Right? This is where we flash the to be continued fucking part on the screen.
Yeah.
So until next week.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves some rice and beans.